Hello, and welcome to the 15th in an unknown number of podcasts. I do hope that you're enjoying your Easter weekend, and as promised, today I bring to you the answers from Fun Fact Friday. So a quick reminder of the questions that were posed on Friday. What are the names of the following? The Monopoly Man, the man being operated on in operation, and the rooster on a box of cornflakes. Which book also has the title The Modern Prometheus? Which is the only chemical element not to have been discovered on Earth? Easter is a movable feast, so it doesn't have a fixed date. What is used to determine the date? And finally, from which country did the idea of the Easter Bunny originate? So the answers are as follows. Mr. Barber's question: what are the names of the following? The Monopoly Man, the man being operated on in operation, and the rooster on a box of cornflakes. Rich Uncle Pennybags as the Monopoly Man. I do believe they renamed him recently to just Mr. Monopoly, but I prefer the Rich Uncle Pennybags. Cavity Sam is being operated on in operation, and the name of the rooster is Cornelius. Mr. Foster's question: which book also has the title The Modern Prometheus? That's Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. On to Dr. Britton's question: which is the only chemical element not to have been discovered on Earth? The answer is helium. Easter is a movable feast, so it doesn't have a fixed date. What is used to determine the date? It's the moon. Easter is the first Sunday after the first full moon following the vernal equinox. And finally, from which country did the idea of the Easter Bunny originate? That's Germany. Well done to those of you who've got all of those correct, or well done even just for trying or thinking about those answers over the last few days. I'd like to end today's podcast with a few thoughts from the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Pope. Some of you may have seen yesterday that the Archbishop of Canterbury delivered his Easter sermon from his kitchen, being recorded on his iPad, and that the Pope delivered his Easter message to pretty much empty St. Peter's Basilica. So just a couple of final thoughts from them at this time. The Pope had said yesterday, this is not a time for self-centeredness, because the challenge we are facing is shared by all, without distinguishing between persons. And part of the Archbishop of Canterbury's address, once this epidemic is conquered here and round the world, we cannot be content to go back to what was before as if all is normal. There needs to be a resurrection of our common life, something that links to the old but is different and more beautiful. So a couple of thoughts, one short term perhaps, and one for a longer term discussion with yourself or with others. Firstly, in the short term, it can be easy to be selfish. It can be easy to think about your own wants and desires, and perhaps not think about the other people that you are currently in isolation with, the people that you're sharing your space with, the people under the same roof. So as we start the second week of the Easter holiday, perhaps to focus a little bit more on how we're behaving with the people that we're sharing our spaces with, and perhaps a longer term thought to think, what is it that we'd like to see, or see things to change? How would we like things to change when we emerge from the other side of lockdown? So, to end this podcast, and I'll be back tomorrow, as ever, be kind, take care, and stay safe.